We go live.
And there we are. Welcome back again.
Sup, babies? It's Auntie J.
It's Auntie J.
Butters.
Butters and Unks. Butters, man. It's Butters, man.
Butters, man.
It's Butters, man.
All
Hey, Unc,
right.
should you do the Australian accent every once in a while?
Should I do this? Was he Australian? Oh, you're talking about. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
the other night we went out and I guess I could say it. Well, me and Chaps. No one knows who that is, anyways.
Yeah, nobody knows Chaps.
We were at a bar, and we basically were just doing atrocious Australian accents the entire time. I'm sure every single person saw right through it, but
Like Kevin Malone.
yeah, like exactly, yeah.
Alligator,
It was bad.
dingo, baby.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, but we maybe for like an hour and a half we just did that, and it was I'm sure it was really annoying to everyone around us, but it was pretty fun.
I mean, you talked to that one MILF for like 10 minutes because you helped her bring the shots you ordered. You don't remember?
Who?
Some lady ordered shots and you helped bring them over. She had a shit ton of them. She was freaking out because they didn't have Hunga Bunga tequila or something. I don't know.
Oh, I had no idea. Oh, I helped them bring over like 1-2 shots because her hands were full. But yeah, that's
what she said.
Yeah, yep, yeah. So
There you
They
go.
were full of
you know.
Unc's wiener.
That's right, dude. Anyways, let's get on to something else. I don't know what you guys want to start out with here. But
Auntie J's got the ice going instead of
Auntie
the
J, instead of the
pen
pen.
today, so
Nice.
yeah. So, that was pretty funny there.
I can't help it. I love me coffee. Love me some coffee.
He'll put the ice down and then his dog will start barking in the background. So
Yeah, always something going
so
on.
always something at the house.
Hey. It's
Oh,
called
boy.
building character.
Is
Oh
that right?
yeah.
Is that right?
These
Who's got
kids
the first
these days
topic for
wouldn't
today?
understand.
Building character. I don't know. What do you want to talk about? Auntie J, you had something you wanted to talk about, right?
Hey, Auntie J,
Well,
pick her up.
Well, we can start, and this could kind of, correlate with some other things or go into other things. But we could start with Nicki Minaj, speaking her mind. But since it doesn't go with the narrative of the left, you know what they did? They attacked her, and not only did they attack her, they sent people. She has family in Trinidad. They sent people, and they threatened to release their address and harass them for answers
saw
and
that,
questions. Because she wouldn't answer them, and so then they went to her family and I think to their door and were just like, hey, talk to us. And I think it was a CNN anchor or somebody worked at CNN who said, yeah, if you don't do this, you don't answer, we're gonna harass your family and get the answers that we want. And it's so sick and fucked up, because she's speaking her mind. She has personal experience with someone who, got the vaccine and had some bad side effects. And so all she said was, hey, do your research. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't. And they blew up at her, even though it's a very logical statement. It makes a lot of sense. Like, hey, you want to get it? Do it.
Listen.
End up not wanting to do it? Don't.
Yeah, logic is thrown out the window with these people, dude.
Listen,
They don't-
my balls are already big
you
enough
can't
as
reason.
is. Not like I need the vaccine to make them any bigger, bro. That was that was the side effect that she was talking about. Her cousin got or something. His balls got really big, which is hilarious. I mean, that's kinda funny.
That is the only reason I would get the vaccine. Is just to give Auntie J gotta get a little bit.
Maybe they should start pushing that. Like, hey, the vaccine makes your
Yeah,
balls
maybe
big.
maybe they
that's
said that.
That should be their next.
Fauci went with
marketing
that
thing.
angle once in a while.
Exactly. Obviously, the other one's not working, so he's got to try something different here. But I mean, it's a pretty funny story. I think people have to be careful because whenever this happens, our side tends to fall into the same type of
Overgo
trap.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, they totally overdo it, and they start to truly believe that these people are on our side when they're really not. And when it's
only
never
one
liked
issue.
Nicki Minaj. Yeah, when it's really just one issue, and I feel like a good amount of the black population has spoken out against the vaccine anyways. But I mean, as funny as it is and the whole situation is, our side really has to be careful in these types of situations because this happens all the time. I can't remember what the last one was, but it's always like some sort of
It was pretty recent too.
Yeah, it's always some sort of celebrity who speaks out against one thing, even though like they disagree with us on 99% of other things, and then our side really just not well, maybe not our side in particular, but like people, Republicans tend to take it and make it like these people are our heroes. This person is great. Like
that's the one thing I was thinking about too.
Up. And that happens all the time. And, you know, Nicki Minaj is just another example of that. However, like the whole situation to me is pretty funny. It is pretty hilarious. I think she was on like Hannity or something, right? Which is like I mean it's just so funny.
I think she went on a few shows. They immediately like picked her up and wanted to interview her.
Yeah, exactly. Which, like, is hilarious. It's great, but it's, you know, again, you just have to be careful. These people aren't really on our side.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the thing I was thinking about, too, is it's like, you know, good for her for saying this and going against whatever, you know, her system that she's involved in, whatever it may be. But at the same time, you know, people have to understand that it's like the majority of Americans feel the same way and are doing that on a day-to-day basis. And they're getting, you know, thrown to the floor for the views that they have, but then it's almost like we're just going to praise one person do it, which it's, you know,
exactly.
It's good that somebody that big with a platform is speaking out against it, but at the same time, you know, that's just one issue. So it's like for her to be almost praised, and don't get me wrong, you know, it's good to see somebody say that every once in a while, but for her to be kind of praised when the average American has been doing the same thing day to day, but they're getting like mutilated behind the scenes by the government, it's like, you know, at the same time,
right.
She should be recognizing that the common folk as well, you know, they're the ones that are getting ripped to shreds when it's kind of like she's only saying, well, I'm just the only one kind of getting boned here, but everybody with that view is.
Right, exactly. And yeah, that's exactly right. The nice thing about the situation, though, is I mean, the best thing that she's really brought to light in the entire situation is that she's more so exposing how just like evil journalists are. People, you know, all these people obviously threatening her family. I think that's probably the best part about the situation. I think, I mean, the vaccine thing set aside, I think it's better that she's really going after the journalists, you know, other than the other issue. Just because I don't know, I think that's an issue that her base would more so listen to her for, because that has nothing to do with like people they're loyal to. Obviously, like people that are in her base are probably loyal to whatever it may be, the science or whatever. Like they listen to whatever's told to them. But when it comes to calling a journalist a piece of shit, like I think her base can really get behind that and start to recognize that these people fucking suck. They're evil people.
Yeah, they're terrible. It's got to be the worst profession in the country, you know. It's just like
you have to be.
It's like a meteorologist, for instance, dude. Like a meteorologist can lie every single day on the TV about what the weather is going to be. He can just take some sort of guess and be like, "Oh, it's not going to rain today." You know, whip out the short sleeve T-shirt, no umbrella, and then it fucking rains all day. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, it's just like a journalist. They can say whatever they want, get away with it, and they have no repercussions. Still get paid at the end of the day, you know?
Right,
so
exactly. There's only one meteorologist in the history of the world that's ever been always right, and that is Frankie McDonald from Nova Scotia, Canada. That guy is
Canada.
A boss. That guy's, if you don't know Frankie McDonald, Butters, you should look him up. You should look him up. He's great.
Is he the dude that acts stuff out, or is it not him?
He's the guy that it's sent in our Insta group all the time. One of, you know, he's like the kid with Down syndrome, basically, that just screams.
Oh, I know that guy. I know this dude. Yeah.
Oh, I love that guy.
Oh my God.
Hi, this is Frankie. Just play it. Just play it.
Put the barbecue sauce in the hamburgers.
Oh, I know this guy. Yeah,
it's funny. But you know, okay. That being set aside, these journalists, fucking terrible people. Good that someone's calling it out, and I think that's more of a malleable subject that people will be able to kind of adapt to. So, You know.
Well, I mean, her base stuck with her after she married that like pedophile guy.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
I think
she
she'll
married
stick with
pedophile.
her.
That's a great example of why she's
Yeah.
not on her side. She
Yeah.
married a pedophile.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Yeah,
It's like
he served time for diddling a girl. I think he beat the shit out of her too. Not Nicki Minaj, the girl, way back. This was like in the late 1990s, early 2000s, I think, and he served time for it, and then he got out of jail. And now he gets to bone Nicki Minaj.
There you go.
yeah, I have no respect. That's the thing too. I have no respect for her in reality. It's like,
No, I never did. I always thought
cool.
she
She's
sucked.
out saying what she's saying. She's speaking her mind, like the average American is allowed and supposed to be able to do. But I mean, she's just. They want to be called ratchet. That's what she is. She's just,
Yeah. No, exactly.
I don't want to get too explicit on here, but it's just, yeah.
Yeah, there's only one song from Nicki Minaj that I've ever, that had Nicki Minaj in it that I've ever enjoyed, and that was when we were in 7th grade, "Bedrock" by Young Money, bro.
Good song.
I'll have to play that one to see if I remember it. What's it
You'll
called?
remember. It's "Bedrock" by Young Money. Oh my
I
god.
can make your bed right, girl.
Oh, dude. Oh, my
That
God. I
song.
didn't know she was in that.
Yeah, she's the girl
Yeah.
rapper in that song.
Oh.
They were all part of the rap group. It was It was Lil Wayne's rap group, or like his.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah. I remember that song.
So yeah, I think she sucks. She's always been terrible. She's the ugliest human being ever.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just funny to see kind of the reaction.
Hey, Sherilyn Barnes begs to differ, my guy. Holy
Okay.
smoke. God fucking damn.
But
Ugh.
anyways, I think that's enough on Nicki Minaj. I hate that bitch. I can't stand her. But what are you gonna do? But I don't know. Let's get into like what's going on at the border right now, because that's.
No, I was just gonna say
absolutely
something
insane.
about that, dude.
It's
Because I was just looking through some
Absolutely.
shit. I just saw a picture of Kamala Harris, dude, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, she's at a football game tossing a coin. Number one, what football team wants her to toss the coin? Like, I don't know. If I was going to that school, dude, I'd probably be like, I'm out of here. If this is what's going on here. But
was it an NFL
number
game,
two,
though? Or was it?
I thought it was a college game.
Okay,
Maybe it
yeah,
was
yeah.
NFL.
It had to be a Northern
I don't know.
State,
I'm
then,
not.
because-
I don't know, to be honest with you. So I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
dude, she hasn't done anything at all. Like, she's the vice president, and she really hasn't done a single thing. I mean, not to say Biden hasn't done anything either, but he's in the news for bombing children in a family, and it's like,
Yeah, that's
what has she done?
That's not funny. That's
It's like he's done
That's
shit,
not
but
funny,
yeah, not funny, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
I
It's
mean,
just how you brought it up. It was pretty.
Kamala is she is an absolute waste.
Just say
of
Kamala. I'm not going to call her by her. That's how it reads.
I
It's
swear to
Kamala.
God, I honestly have no idea which one's the correct way to say it. And I even
don't
if you
know
tell
either.
me right now, I won't remember it.
Yeah, it's just however I read it is Kamala. like a camel.
I'm
always
just
refer to
calling
it
her
as
she
Kamala.
camel. She's she camel.
Yeah.
The she camel. The she camel. Is just an absolute useless waste of space. Has done nothing.
Yeah.
All she does is smile, and then when people ask her a serious question, just laughs it off and goes, yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, she.
But the border,
she
yeah.
looks. She's an evil.
Hunks, if you want to go on the border, I didn't read too much on it, but I did see all the pictures and kind of briefly. What was going on
I mean,
there,
I
but it's a
haven't
bad
seen
house.
a lot of it either. But there's about 20,000 people
15
just sitting at the border, and then 9,000.
15 to 20,000.
Yeah, and then 9,000.
Yeah, and now nobody's supposed to be coming in. Yeah, Biden's like, no Haitians allowed. It's like, dude, so who are you letting in? Like, but they are still coming in, aren't they?
No, yeah, they're they're bussing them in.
Yeah.
They're still bussing them in,
Yeah.
and then they're going to release them into the interior of the country and probably into states that are very crucial. And you just look at it.
Yeah.
There's 20,000 people sitting at the border right now. 9,000 of them being Haitians. They all just come in waves too. This has been happening consistently. Obviously, this one's a massive, massive wave. But look at it. Look at the amount of National Guard troops they brought to the Capitol on January 6th.
Yeah,
and
they're not even
around the
bringing that
election.
many here,
Well,
dude.
listen, they probably could have had a service member for every immigrant at the border.
Yeah.
Compared to how many people they brought to the Capitol around the election time, or whenever they brought all those people. What was it, like 15,000
There was, like,
National Guard troops or something like that?
I
probably
thought
more.
I thought it was like wasn't it like 26,000 or some shit like that? I
Some
thought I read.
massive retarded number that was like
Yeah.
so unnecessary. But they're not doing, like, the Border Patrol right now is so overwhelmed. They're not even doing anything. They're not bringing any of those people. They could have a person per illegal over there. And
There's like regular police
start
officers
letting
there
them
too.
do
I
it,
was reading.
and they're just
Yeah,
letting them, but
because
it
they
just
just can't handle
goes
it.
to show, like, look at the priorities. Look at the priorities. They want, like, the administration right now wants these people coming in because they understand the overall effect of the mass demographic change that's going to take place when they get released into the country. They want them going to Texas specifically, and the ones that they don't want going to Texas, they're going to bust to places like Ohio, bust to places like Pennsylvania, to Florida, to all these other places that are extremely crucial states. Look at, I mean, I can't remember who said it, but someone came out with a study the other day. I think who was it? It might have been, like, I don't think it was his study, but I think it was posted by Vince James. But he was basically saying how Texas, at this rate, is bound to flip blue before 2030 now because of, like, all the people coming across. And this is just
Texas
illegal
is
immigration
fucked.
too. This isn't even counting the legal immigration. This was just accounting for the illegal immigration. I can only imagine that's going to make it flip sooner. This could be, or the next 1-2 election cycles could very well be the end of Texas being a red state. And that being said, they're going to focus their efforts, like the administrations like this and the establishmentarian types are going to focus their efforts on relocating these people to states that are crucial.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
really crazy. Dude, it's happening really soon, and it's like you can already see these shifts happening. Like, you can already see what's going on. Like, look at Southern Florida, dude. Southern Florida is screwed, dude. And it's just moving higher and higher up. It's already made its way up to Tampa here. And, it's just like, I'm not saying I'm in Tampa. I'm near Tampa, not in there. I would never live downtown Tampa. But, it's just like Southern Florida is becoming just immigration Cuban zone, dude. It's all a whole bunch of, and I know those ones in Texas right now are from Haiti, but it's just a whole bunch of people are being shipped down here.
It's Haiti. It's
just
it's everywhere in Central America. It's Mexico.
Yeah, Central America is just shifting its way up here, dude.
But yeah, it's basically in Florida. It's basically as if Miami has just expanded all the way north.
Oh, dude, I won't even go to Miami,
really
dude. It's like
with Cubans and stuff, but
it's
it's
terrible
now.
now.
It's just expanding outwards,
complete.
And then you're gonna have the people obviously make the argument that, oh, well, Cubans vote more Republican than anyone else. Yeah, but they vote like 45% Republican to 55% Democrat, and then their children are always like all these people that, like, quote unquote fled socialism from Castro to get to Florida, voted Republican. It was something like 45 to 70% of those people, anywhere between there, voted Republican. But then we're finally getting the studies where we're seeing what their children are doing, and then their children's children, and they are all of them, virtually all, maybe 70% plus of them are voting for all Democrats, all people that will end up implementing things that their parents and grandparents had fled from. It doesn't matter. Like, you can't accept them in here without reaping the consequences of the future generations that they're bringing in. Even if their grandparents or parents, like, were persecuted in some sort of way in their country, their children don't give a shit. Like, they'll vote for it again because they didn't do it.
They didn't experience any of it. Yeah,
exactly. And that's the argument you're going to be hearing from a lot of, like, normie Republicans. Like, oh, well, these Cubans fled Fidel Castro's socialist Cuba. It's like, okay, well, look at their children. And look at their grandchildren.
It's now onto the children's age, dude. It's like they're now the ones voting. It's like
exactly. Once the people who actually fled died, we're fucked. It doesn't matter because their children are voting in mass towards the Democrats, anyways. And that's specifically just the argument towards the Cubans in Miami. But again, they're coming from everywhere. It's not just Cuba. It's everywhere. It's Central America, South America, Africa, Mexico, everywhere. And it's only going to get worse from here. We're going to see Texas flip by 2030. And like, in these situations where you have 20,000 illegal, like, what do you do? What do you even do at this point other than like sending your entire National Guard to the southern border to stop this? Like, what else can you do? I mean, I hate to say it, and I don't want to sound like an absolute neocon because I because I don't believe in things like that. Well, I'm not a non-interventionist, but because I'm more America first. Like you have to fight for the interests of your own country if you're a nationalist.
Yeah.
That's the point of being America first. And people might call me a neocon for this, but all the effort that we've focused in the Middle East with all our troops and all the dead people, all the people that have gotten killed over there, it could have been exhausted in a different part of the world for a cause that actually could have helped us, a cause that could have. And by that I mean, like, instead of being in the Middle East for 20 years, we should have been at our southern border. We should have been in Mexico fighting to stop this against the cartels, against their own government if we have to. If we had to declare war to stop it, then so be it. But we shouldn't have been at war over there because there was no interest for America over there. And there is a clear interest for it in Mexico because we're being absolutely obliterated at the southern border. And what are you gonna do? Like,
it's just that
it's the only way to
you
really
gotta think
stop
about
it.
it.
You have to
It's
send
like
your National Guard down there, the entire National Guard. It's like, what else can you do at this point when there's 20,000 people just sitting under a bridge, ready to just flood into your country, and then obviously violent crime's gonna go up. Obviously, just crime in general is gonna go up. Then you're gonna lose power completely on our side, and it's just it's crazy to me how these politicians that we call are supposed to be on our side, all these typical Republicans, they just don't get it. They just don't understand it after seeing what happens every single time. It's not like this is the first time this has happened. It's like just look at what happens. Just look at the outcome.
It's because they're really in it for the interest of themselves over the interest of the entire country.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Once they
Exactly
get into these positions of they go into politics to get rich, not to change and not to fix the problems that we have or to make the country a better place. A lot of the people are going in to get rich now because they're going in, and you can look at people like Nancy Pelosi. Like, what's her salary supposed to be? Like $175,000 a year or something like that, or it might be a little more than that. But she's a millionaire, dude. She is a multi-millionaire. She's coming out millions of dollars, and the only possible way for her to come out with that much money when her salary is just around 200,000, all round up there, is by, pocketing some of the money, making whatever she's doing, to line her own pockets and the pockets of the people that she's working with. It's just, it's the reason why Trump called it the swamp. Yeah.
Right. It's important to highlight that it's not just people like Nancy Pelosi. It's people like Lindsey
Graham.
Oh,
sure. Yeah. It's people on
like even Ted Cruz, unfortunately. Completely. Ted, all these people, they are basically held accountable under the same interests. And I think it's important to highlight that it's both sides. It's both sides have.
Exactly. I was just using her because she's an easy example to say, but you're exactly right. It's just everybody on every side, and that's why somebody like Trump was so good and could capture just the majority of the average American, because he comes in, he's made so much money on his own by himself. He doesn't need really people. In essence, he didn't need as many donors and things like that as much as he did use donors. And, everybody has to at a specific point in politics, it appears. But, he comes in fighting for the average American, and just going against all politicians to do whatever it is that he wanted to do, at least in the beginning of his administration, so that's why if you can come in and really just capture the average American and speak to the average American and act like the average American, you can really do some damage to politics, but not everybody wants to do that.
Right. And I think that could be a pretty good thing to go into, is the idea that someone even as rich as Donald Trump, someone having he had like $10 billion at the beginning of his campaign, someone as rich as Donald Trump didn't even have enough money or political influence in order to run without having to get donors. Obviously, he had.
That means we are fucked.
Which is like absolutely insane. You can't have $10 billion in figure to win an election. That's absolutely insane to me, and it should be insane to anyone. Obviously, he had major institutional support from people like Sheldon Adelson, who was a major ally to like the Israel lobbies and everything like that, and that's why he was very lenient on those countries. I think he had like another Saudi lobby or donors. Well, and you know, it's crazy to me that in order for it to be remotely possible, you have to pick a donor to help you, or else you're just not going to win. It's insane.
Which it's completely against what the country was really founded on. You know what I mean? That means the average person, you know, can't represent the average person. It's just like when you think about it, they're supposed to be people elected representatives to, in simplest terms, just represent the average person and speak for the average person. But they don't do that anymore. Yeah. They don't do it anymore because the average person can't make it there, you know, without all these donors, massive donors.
Maybe at smaller like representative levels, like a House representative level, like maybe it's possible.
Yeah,
I mean,
but at the end of the day, are they really doing that much? You know what I mean? It's
exactly. Well, you know, it depends, I suppose. Like you see, it's more so like just having another.
Was that a fart?
Ally.
I'm sorry. Was that a fart?
No, I don't know what that was. No,
Auntie J went silent.
Auntie J.
I think Auntie J let one rip.
J just shit his pants. But yeah, I don't know. It's more about
supposed to be quiet.
I thought I heard that there. I'm sorry for interrupting.
I thought I could squeak it out, but apparently it was a little too loud.
I'm so sorry for interrupting.
No, it's okay. I mean, that was about the end of the point, anyways. I feel like Auntie J needed to put some insight in there, anyways. You know, I wanted.
Yeah, there it goes.
That's his insight. That's what he thinks.
Oh, that's what I think about politicians. Rips at.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, absolutely.
Oh man. Yeah. So I mean, that's all I really had to say on that, anyways. Oh man. And that could be a topic in the future too, but.
Absolutely.
Are you still shitting your pants over there? Did you just do it again?
I just farted. Sorry.
That one was butters. It started a chain reaction. Oh no.
Oh my god! All right.
we have fun. We have fun here. We have fun here.
Oh man. Yeah. So that's it. That's the issue at the border. That was a good conclusion to that take. What's happening at the border? Just a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of nonsense.
What can you do? You're just. I mean, we're gonna see. I mean, I really don't know, other than southern Texas, where these people are going to be released into. These places are already like riddled with it.
They really want to flip Texas, though, and it's getting pretty close. It's getting
very close. And unless something drastic happens soon, it's just kind of inevitable. Which, you know, I'm not. I don't doubt that something drastic could happen, but obviously that would take a lot. And you know,
I mean, you already see with the major cities in Texas flipping already.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's just,
like Austin.
Some of these major, Austin is very liberal, and I believe Dallas was somewhere recently that had something with masks. Yeah, like where they were making these kids wear these masks regardless. And I mean, you see it in Florida, a lot of places now too. But
in Illinois, we're supposed to wear masks everywhere. I mean, I don't wear it anywhere. And I don't get
I didn't wear it when I was back up there. I didn't wear it.
I don't get called out.
They didn't seem to care. Like I'd walk through restaurants, nobody cared. Walked into stores, nobody cared.
Now it's become
a lot of people didn't even have them on.
Like everyone's wearing them again now, but it's like if you're not wearing them, no one cares. It's weird. It's really weird. I'm surprised I
walked into Whole Foods. I walked into Whole Foods yesterday, and there are no mask mandates down here. There's nothing. You know, you don't have to do anything. But 99% of the people had masks on in Whole Foods. That's also the crowd that's in there. I'd never go in there. We had to drop something off for Amazon, but it's just, even down here, I go into Walmart and there's a ton of people with masks on, which is it's pretty disappointing, but
it's
there's nothing you can do about it.
It's really crazy. I'm surprised people just kind of accepted it so just easily. You know, so that kind of brings us into something else. Like there are like mass riots in other places in the world.
Yeah, everywhere but here.
You would think like America being as quote unquote freedom loving as it is, it's, you know, at least the facade of it, You know, because obviously we know boomers are a lot of talk and no action. They're not actually going to ever stand up for anything because they don't care. They really pretend to care, but when it comes down to it, they would never be willing to actually fight for it. But you see places like
they're too content on their couch.
Yeah, exactly. You see places like, where was it? Australia. Was it Australia that had
Australia? It was
Australia and the UK, right? Or was it not the UK?
Well, it was.
Oh,
the
UK
Australia. There was Brazil.
oh
my goodness, Brazil had a massive protest. It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, here it was. Protesters break through the police line. An officer gets assaulted and trampled.
Oh, I did see that.
People screw. It was.
Yeah.
It's like people are standing up. You know, people are like, screw this.
Yeah.
Like, they are obviously police trying to detain them, and they just went right through. They just barged right. And that's kind of what you have to do. It's like, yeah, okay, you support the police if you want, but the police aren't going to support you. They're gonna do whatever their DA tells them to do. It's not like if you. It's unfortunate. It's like that's something that people aren't really going to ever get here in America. Which, like, I have a lot of friends and family in the police, and there are obviously a lot of good people out there, but at the end of the day, like, they are going to be more willing to enforce like a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate than they will to just like not do that because they have to do whatever their boss says, basically, which is being municipal government is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's unfortunate. It's like these are people you want to be able to, but you know, you saw them kind of during all the race stuff, all back in the summer of 2020.
Yeah.
It's like they were
when they were kneeling with the people.
They were kneeling with the people, and
was...
they were letting them go after one night in jail, not charging them with anything. People who literally burned buildings down, harassing people, tried to, were looting stores, just absolutely, just destroying entire cities. People were being released in a day. And then you see people like us who, for instance, go to a I don't want to wear a mask rally or something like that. And they're just like arresting these people en masse because they're a lot easier to arrest, and we're not going to fight back as much. It's crazy. It really is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you got to decide like what side are you on. And a lot of them, especially the ones in the city, have made their choice and have said, we are going to arrest you over the people who are actually doing damage. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Which is really, really disappointing.
It's
because those people that are doing real damage are the ones that are going to point a gun at them and shoot them in the head.
Yeah, exactly.
But the ones that are not wearing a mask
the people who are supporting them, no matter what, are the ones who are being thrown into jail, getting 20 years to life because they went on the steps of the Capitol one time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane because they're easy. That's why. It's because they're easy. They're not going to fight you. They're not going to kill the cop. So they know, like, hey, this is an easy target. I'm going to get my quote. I'm going to meet my quote for the month. It's insane. It really is insane. So, you know how it goes. Oh, that being said, we got to talk about this Fed thing. At the Capitol.
The faux rally. The faux rally.
Exactly. Well, actually, I do think it was now that I'm looking at more sources, I thought it was a completely different rally, but it did seem to be January 6th. At least in this picture that I'm looking at right here, this person said it was.
Which one are you talking about? Will you put it up on the screen? See what you're talking about.
I'll put it up on the screen. I'll put up the one that I sent you guys just so I can kind of explain that one. Let's see, where did I? Here it is. There we go. What was it? Display 2, I think. Nope, wrong one. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out which display it is. Oh, here it is. This one. All right, yeah. So here, like, apparently this was January 6th, but clearly, all these people are feds. These and they caught them.
Oh yeah.
And they were once this picture kind of started going around in mass, like people started retweeting it and everything, like they were found out almost immediately. And obviously in the picture you see like they're wearing FBI, like the same people on the right side are wearing FBI shirts at a gay pride rally because, this is what the feds are about. It's about creating false flag events so they can pin things like January 6th on just normal everyday people. who really didn't do anything wrong. I've never seen a riot or insurrection where people tried to stay inside velvet ropes and just look around taking pictures of the inside of the Capitol. And these people right here are the ones that try to play. They're the ones who instigate all of it. They're the ones who try to create these events so that they have work to do. And because they hate us, ultimately, because they want to see people like us in jail for the rest of our lives. And, this is not anything new. It's like the FBI and CIA have been doing things like this for decades. Like, I wish I could come up with more examples on the spot. I'm sure after this I could name 100 of them, but they've been doing this for decades. But this is just a prime example, a very prime example. And even, like, there was another video that I'm sure you guys saw, and I'll explain it because I don't know where it is right now, but there's another video of basically just a guy shouting, "Let's go raid the Capitol," or blah, 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 and everyone around him, every single person around was like, "No, like, absolutely not, don't do that, you're a Fed." They were literally like, "You're a Fed, like, we're not doing that, you're a Fed," and they started chanting, "You're a Fed, you're a Fed." And the guy was clearly part of the FBI. He was found out later to actually be a part of the FBI, which was, obvious. But it just goes to show, like, keep your eye out. If you ever go to these events, like, keep your eye out. These people are very easy to spot. These people are very easy to spot because they're all, look at this picture. They're all wearing the same watch. They're all wearing the same glasses. They all have the same haircut. They're clearly a part of the same group. And it's just, they're very easy to spot. So keep your eye out if you ever end up going to these events. But it's crazy. It's absolutely wild that our own government is trying to do this to us. They absolutely hate us. I mean, there's nothing else to it. They absolutely hate us. They want to see us in jail for the rest of our lives. They'd rather see us dead than a part of the country that they want. And it brings along the discussion.
What was the thing a couple weeks ago? They figured it out that it was now I can't remember what the event was for, but it was they basically formed a group, and it was all a bunch of feds and convinced.
It was the Whitmer thing. The Whitmer thing.
Yeah, that's what it was. They were all feds, dude.
Exactly. Yeah, there was a group that planned to kidnap Whitmer, and you remember how big that was. It was being shared. Every journalist was writing about it. Every journalist was writing about it. Every news publication had some sort of story on it. And look at what happened when 14, I think it was either 13 or 14 out of the people in the group ended up being federal agents.
Yeah, and they had to pay. They paid people every way, dude.
Exactly. And it's
like 3 people that didn't want to do it. They were like, I don't want to do this. And the feds paid for them to get transported everywhere, paid for their rooms, paid for all their food and transport, everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And basically made these people do it. And then they arrest them. Yeah. And then the feds did the entire thing, but they're not even in trouble. They go back to just plan another attack.
Just like, think of it. It's like, there were 13 or 14 out of 50. They came up with the plan themselves, just so they can. And they found like 1 or 2.
Got a couple stupid people to fucking do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Just be like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess if you guys are doing it, like, why not? Like, there's 13 other people doing it. Why not? Which is fucking stupid. Like, obviously that's a Fed op, so you should. Just don't be retarded.
You should be aware, but obviously fucking stupid people.
But like when they came up with the plan themselves, they created the entire event themselves, and then they just arrested some guy because he was like, "Yeah, I'm doing it with you guys." It's like, like what kind of fucking world do we live in? Like, there's probably there's a very, very slim chance that guy would have done it, would have even remotely come up with anything close to that idea if it weren't for the feds.
For sure.
Probably would just be sitting at home
100%.
like yelling at his TV, watching Handy or something, because he's. Just
dude, exactly. It's like people when they're joking around at an Xbox party or some shit. It's like, oh, let's do this, and then all of a sudden the feds are listening, and then they get 14 or 15 guys.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're paying for you all the way. It's like saying, hey, like somebody on Xbox goes, hey, I'm gonna go rob this bank. It's a joke. I need $500.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden the feds are. You get 15 people. They pay for you at everywhere to go. Your taxi, your guns, everything. They hand you everything and say, "Go rob the fucking bank."
It's crazy. And look at the coverage it got when they were all found out to be feds. So now it was virtually nothing. So now everyone's like, "Oh yeah, these horrible people tried to kidnap Whitmer, they're all Trump supporters, which, even at the time that this story was out, like, it was all found out that they weren't Trump supporters at all. And that was, they're feds.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not. And when they,
Yeah.
I mean, at the time we didn't know they were feds, but at the time we did know that none of them liked Trump. And they hated, like, they were very vocal about not liking him. But, how it was pinned. It was pinned. These Trump supporters want to kidnap the governor of Michigan. And then that got insane media coverage. And then it was found out however many months later, 4 or 5 months later, 6 months later, they're all feds.
Yeah.
And look at
because when was that? July or some shit where it came out? Yeah.
So now the general public believes, these terrible Trump supporters tried to kidnap the governor of Michigan, and they don't know any better that it was a total Fed operation. And that's a great example of what we were just talking about, how they've been planning these things for decades, and they'll continue to do it until they paint a picture of whoever they hate being the worst person imaginable.
Yeah. That's just what they do, and it's over and over and over again. And as long as there's dumb enough people that are going to fall for it, then it's going to keep happening. And as long as these types of people remain in power, they're just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the biggest waste of an institution. Like, what was it, last week or some shit, or what the fuck? All right. Oh, yeah. Do you guys hear about this? I don't know the whole story about the gymnastics, the U.S. gymnastics
That's right.
pedophile guy.
Talk about it.
But they literally just shoved it under the table. Like, I listened to the one girl's testimony, and I'm like, this is fucked up, because he's legit a pedophile, okay? And they had, like, there was tons of people, enough information, actual factual information to get this guy, and the FBI sat on it from 2015 until now. And now they apologize, and it's like, but your words mean really nothing, because you just allow anybody that you want to remain out and free. I don't know why they chose him to be okay. Like, let's not get him in trouble. But
I don't understand I didn't understand that either, really. But Auntie J, I don't know if you had any thoughts on that.
Well, apparently the Fed's excuse for why it took them so long to get Larry Nasser, that son of a fuck, was because they claimed since it had to go over state lines, like in different states, it took them a while to collaborate and all that, which was a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, they spewed out. It's like
7 years though. It's like,
what does the F in FBI stand for?
Yeah, exactly.
So why would it matter if you have to go cross state lines?
Yeah,
I know, dude. It's fucking federal for the whole place. It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it doesn't. For them, it doesn't have to. They just tried to give out an excuse. Yeah, they just wanted an excuse. Just say, because they got caught sitting on it. They got caught not doing anything, not really giving it
with their
attention.
fingers up their ass, dude.
Yeah.
Exactly. So going over state lines, sending the information all over the place and different areas that happened, blah 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 blah. It's we had to coordinate. It's no, you just got caught red-handed.
They'll fucking fly at fucking Kavanaugh or anything about Trump, and all that shit was going on. Oh, you got to believe the one lady with zero info and shit like that. And it's obviously the FBI probably didn't do shit with much about it, because they couldn't. There was just nothing there. But on this case, there's multiple people that gave testimonies that would be, giving these people up right there, right then and there. And it's you listen to the testimony, it's this is fucked up. Totally fucked up what's going on. But, they'll hide pedophiles and do whatever they want.
Because they are pedophiles.
Totally nuts. Yeah.
Hey,
they are fucking pedophiles.
They all knew about Epstein before.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It all blew up and everything. They all knew about it, because it's not like that was the first time that he was charged with child pornography or something, or what was his first charge? It was something ridiculous, something that he should have still been in jail for a long time. But then obviously everything else blew up and whatever. But yeah, they're fucking terrible people. It's just it's crazy how this is the place where we're at now. How every journalist is mostly every journalist is an evil person. Our federal, the feds are absolutely evil people. It's crazy.
So this is what.
Hold on a second. I don't know where that's coming from.
Auntie J, what's going on here?
No, it's me.
What's going
Where
on?
is that coming from?
I was gonna say that wasn't me.
There's something. There's like an ad playing on my screen.
It's very mumbly, so I couldn't hear it anyways.
Oh, here it is. It's on a different. Where is it?
She's trying to sell
Wait,
penis.
it's not supposed to be playing anymore. Okay, I turned it off. I gotta get rolling here in a second. My computer's all fucked up.
Alright, that's fine.
I gotta fix this stuff.
It was
So if you guys keep going, you're good to keep
no,
going.
I think that was a pretty good place to wrap it up. I didn't have much else to say on that. It was a good episode. We didn't have to talk much about COVID or Afghanistan, so that's always a positive. There was other things in the news.
Oh, it's always a plus, yeah.
Yeah, it's always good when we have feds giving us news, I guess. Well, it's good for us at least to talk about
news,
something.
Yeah.
Not good for everyone else, but
No.
Yeah. Fuck the feds.
Fuck the feds, dude. We're probably on watch list already, anyways. So.
Yep.
Just
They
because
coming for Auntie J.
They're coming for Auntie J.
They gotta go fund me.
They're going for Butters.
We're gonna start.
Alrighty, fellas. I gotta wrap it up here.
GoFundMe to get us out of prison.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I'll see you guys. Maybe we'll get on another time this week.
Absolutely. We'll wrap it up. That's another episode.
Alrighty.
Peace out, y'all.
Take her easy.
Peace out. Thanks, babies. It's Auntie J signing off.
Butters.
Unks.